All right. Hello. Welcome to MomoTalk, the show where I talk to Momo. That was
Fucking-
all I had, by the way. So I don't
Oh,
know. I don't know what you thought. I don't know what you thought you
I
were
don't know what
getting out
I
of
don't
me
know what
at
I thought.
all.
I don't know what I thought.
You really
Caught,
tried. You really tried.
caught. I didn't know.
Okay. I mean, bullshit aside, this is just kind of a little idea we had because I used to do a podcast back in the day with some homies when I was in high school, and I thought I was super cool. And you said you were interested in something like that. And we kind of, workshopped it, and we were like, okay, well, what's a theme? Because every podcast needs a theme, or else we're just going to be the same as those like finance bros who sit like 5 feet apart from each other because they're not gay and go,
They're not
yes,
gay. They're
women,
totally not
women
gay.
are the problem, yes. But basically, we're just gonna sit here and talk about. We're just gonna hate, right? That's basically the point.
Yes,
We're kind of gonna hate.
my beef.
Hello, beef. Holy shit, I love this guy.
Big fan.
Yeah,
big beef fan.
I mean, we're both fucking neat losers who basically never go outside.
That's not
So
true. I go outside.
prove it. Pixar didn't happen. Fucking owned. I bet I go
Yeah.
outside more than you.
That's not true. Well, actually, I can't go outside. It's fucking cold as shit right now. We're actually about to experience abnormal fucking temperatures throughout the rest of the week. It's supposed to be in
Oh
the
my God.
negatives for like Monday, or like tomorrow, Wednesday, and I
Holy
think
shit.
maybe Thursday. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
You got to get your emergency provisions. It's the end times.
Yeah. I gotta start doing like interior workouts or some shit
Yeah.
because I'm like, I can't live like this. I want to go outside and walk.
Everybody is dropping Chungus, so I think we're off to a
Use
great
Chung
start
Angle?
with the
Okay.
chat.
Oh fuck.
Dude, there's all these fucking idiots outside my house too. I live on a busy street, and that just means that there's gonna be the sounds of cars fucking whirring by because drivers in my location, no docks,
No,
definitely fucking just love revving their engines. But yeah, the point is basically just we're gonna talk about nerd shit, and we're gonna talk about how we're basically the only woke people who are anti-woke, right?
true. Caught. Hands up.
Well, anti being anti too woke, because there's a woke limit,
yeah. This is a woke
and that's
limit.
kind of what we're mainly here to talk about. We're here to alienate anyone we don't want in the audience and pull in our main audience. So, uh, how do I
Great start.
even
Great
how do we
start.
segue into the first point naturally? I don't think there's a way to do it naturally, right?
I mean, I don't really care. I mean, whatever you have in your fucking notebook, bro. I'm down.
Okay, first point is introduce ourselves, I guess. I mean, you start. What do you do? It's your Twitch
It
channel.
is my Twitch channel. Okay, well, I don't really have an established following anymore. I used to stream a lot. I used to do a shit ton of Splatoon streams, but I don't play
Bitch
Splatoon
fell off.
anymore. I did. I hella fell off. I just stopped playing stream. I stopped playing the game and I stopped streaming. And then I used to play Guilty Gear, and then I stopped playing that because I hate that fucking game. And now I am a gacha player. So if I end up streaming gacha content, sorry. I'm a big WoW player right now. I'm also a Blue Archive player.
Yeah, you got me to play it too, so now neither of us are allowed within 50 feet of a kindergarten.
You're awful. No, but yeah. Yeah, I play games and then I stop playing games. I want to play more single player shit though. Like, fuck, I've been meaning to play SMT. I played a little bit of SMT on on my Twitch channel before. And then I just kind of stopped playing it, and I don't really know why. I planned on continuing it, and then I started playing Persona 4, and then I kind of just focused on that. I don't really know what I want to do, so yeah. Right now, podcast is kind of a way for me to segue back into the stream grind, I guess.
See, I'm trying to segue you back into playing fighting games so that I can get you on uni or something.
I need to get
Because I need I gotta get you on FPAN games in general, so you can understand the glory of poverty anime.
Yeah,
Everybody is just fucking spamming Chungas, by the way.
I'm so over it.
First implement for next stream is we're gonna have to ban the word Chungus.
Take 10.
Chungus Fortnite burger. All right, good. Yeah, I mean, as for me, I want to sit here and be like, ooh, I do XYZ. I don't do anything anymore either. Bitch also fell off because I work a terrible job with terrible hours at night.
Caught.
So yeah, actually super caught red-handed. But I do some voice acting stuff on my YouTube. I want to try and get into streaming. I'm going to give it a go, but right now I'm working on some more video essay type stuff, but I've done anime parodies. I've done voice acting reels. I'm going to be in a Sonic fan movie whenever that comes out. That's like my big thing that I'm involved in right now. But I can't speak on it too much because most of the announcements have not been made official yet. But if you follow me on the Cringe Musk app, then you'll be able to keep up with that.
True.
I would tell you to follow Momo, but she has her account locked because she's afraid of the randos.
I actually have a separate Twitter, but I'm not gonna link it right now.
Wait, you do? I didn't even know that.
I do. Only one person knows.
Okay. First actual point is the big one in the air. Original idea. Wait, I don't know if I can say that word on Twitch either. You got to move to YouTube, dog. Okay, so cute and funny.
Thank you for the follow. BPS, thank you for the follow.
Holy shit, thank you for the follows, guys.
I don't have notifications on right now, I don't think.
That's fine. First point is the cute and funny anime girls, because that's gonna have to be the big first thing we talk about, so we can just get the filter going.
To get the filter going, okay.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess jumping off point for the discussion is we're both pedophiles, right?
No.
Oh, okay. I think there's been a misunderstanding. I might need to find a different co-host.
I need to find a different co-host. The fuck is right?
Well, just according to the internet, we're both pedophiles, right?
Sure, Smiles. Oh, thank you for the sub, Pat. Pat, hands up, caught.
Patrissimo FGC. This guy's not even FGC anymore. Change that shit to Patrissimo TCG.
Actual fake fan. Big Laser, thank you for the follow. Tiwaga, thank you for the follow.
Thank you for the sub with Prime time linked.
Time link, thank you for the Switch Prime.
W. Yeah, I mean, that's the fucking the big thing that is like, I guess for the sake of discussion, we'll call them the woke scolds. Because
okay.
When I say there's like a limit to being woke, right? We're both on the fucking
the spectrum.
F slur spectrum. But for some reason, people love to act like it's like this monolith, right? Where it's like if you're on the like political left, or even if you're like a single degree to the left of center, all of a sudden it's like this monolith where you have to think the same way about every single thing, and you have to like operate under these rules of discussion that pretty much only people on the internet care about.
Yeah.
Like if I go to somebody in real life and I show them like, I don't know, my latest Blue Archive pull, and I'm like, holy fucking shit, these little anime girls are so goddamn cute, sob emoji, etc. Then, you know, people might be like, yeah, that's kind of weird, bro. Like my family, my sister is like, that's kind of weird, bro.
Yeah.
But like nobody's gonna say anything more than that. Like, real people in the real world don't care about lollies. They don't.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're, like, a little weird about it. Like, going a little, like, too far. Like, there's a lot of threads on Twitter I see where I'm like, okay, you guys are going a little bit too far with this shit. Like, I'm not, like, somebody who is gonna like, police, like, jokes or, like, shit like that. However, I do think there's kind of a limit, if that makes any sense, to where it's like, okay, now you're kind of bordering that line.
Oh, definitely. I mean, like as an example, right? Because the only social media I ever really use is the Musk app. But you know, like you said, there are people who will take the jokes too far. Like if you're getting on the internet every single day, going fucking, I love third grade girls, I love little girls, like you're gonna fucking give people a certain idea about yourself that I think everybody is fucking aware of, but you wanna hide behind the bit and be like, oh, but guys, it's just a bit, right? Yeah, but there's a limit to the bit, like you just said, right? Guys, it's like, dude, guys, I'm a pedo, ironically. I swear to God.
I don't know, man.
And then on top of that, there are people who are lolicons and they go online and then they are just actually being pedophiles, and then they make us all look bad, and they feed into the stereotype, right?
Yeah.
Like it's always like the 5 follower, 0 following accounts, You know, like obviously like somebody's alt so they can remain anonymous. Where they're like, guys, does anybody have IRL lolly looking to trade? Here's
I'm like, huh?
Here's my Telegram link, bro. Like, dude, you're either a Fed or you're gonna meet the Feds.
Right. I don't know. To me, it's always been a case. Okay, because I used to be like very much. I used to be very much a. What can I say?
You were an anti?
Yeah, I was hella anti. I don't think nowadays. Not really. Before that, I was definitely like hella against it. But I think it's come to a point now where I think. People take fiction a little too far, just in general.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is you have a lot of terminally online people who are very much obsessed with their characters, and I think a lot of this has to do with a lot with COVID, right? I'm gonna use Genshin.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use Genshin as an example. That game is fucking dog shit, by the way. As an ex-Genshin player, that game is fucking dog shit. However,
if you're gonna play swap, get on Zenless.
Yeah, get on Zenless. What else? Wua. Girls Front Line.
Yeah, is that shit actually good? You said you've been liking it, right?
No, yeah, Wua is hella good.
Chungus Impact.
Chungus Impact. True. Star Rail. I mean, Star Rail's fine. It's whatever.
Lenny VA, please tell us your thoughts on third graders.
Hello?
I'm gonna say over under is that
keep your mouth shut.
The third graders are marginally more annoying than sixth graders. I think sixth graders are where it's at for the most part.
What? Oh my.
Because they're pretty chill. They haven't entered into like middle school yet, so they're kind of they're in that like they're not in that post irony yet where they're starting to become a teenager and they think they have to be super super mature. They're honest with themselves, you know.
Oh my lord.
What, dude? Kids are chill.
I don't hate them, but I went through a phase where I was like, dude, I fucking hate kids. And nowadays I'm like, you know what?
Everyone's getting arrested overnight after stream ends. Yeah, I mean, that includes you guys. You're watching. So the feds are going to come for you, too.
Can't clear history. It's on your hard drive.
Make sure to clear history and hard drive after watching the podcast.
What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, the people's obsession with their characters. So around, like, COVID pandemic again came out. I think that's where it, like, super started. Where people began getting, like, super attached to not only their games, but also the fucking characters in the games. Yeah. To a point where now it's like people have fallen so far into this weird delusion that like these characters are like XYZ thing and like these characters have to follow this like XYZ motto. And then you also have a bunch of like newer anime and like just kind of like newer people playing games, newer anime fans in general kind of playing the games. So now you have like the generalist population of everyone playing like these like anime games and being confused as to like why there's all these anime tropes, and everyone's kind of like in this like weird transitional phase of like trying to like purge whatever, you know, what was I gonna say? Whatever anime culture is like happens to like show up in a game. So if you like see like a sexy woman, for example, you see like a sexy woman in the video game. Let's take Stellar Blade, for example. People are like, oh my god, it's unrealistic. You get characters. What's that one Punch Man character? I forgot what her name is. Fucking green
oh yeah, the green hair girl with the massive ass, right?
Yeah.
Wears a little dress.
Yeah. And then you got people that are like fucking shocked. They're like, dude, why do these characters look like this? Why do these characters do that? Why do these characters do this? And I'm like, dude, they're fictional characters. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, right? I mean, people literally started calling them, like, the COVID anime fans, right? Because it really was still, like, pretty much anything otaku adjacent was very niche still before the COVID era hit, and then everybody got forced inside, and then all of a sudden, people started watching things other than shonen slop, and then they became aware of, like, the wider medium, and it's, you know, kind of become this stupid fucking situation where people have, I don't want to say infiltrated the community but for lack of a better word, they've infiltrated the community and they want to have everything kind of meet their standards. But in doing so, they're kind of like pushing away things that are sort of foundational about the medium. Because, like it or not, anime has been filled with stuff like fan service, pretty much like since its inception. And there's like a cultural reason for that. Yeah. But I don't think it's necessarily our place to sit here and like, you know, because everybody's gonna drop the fucking Wojak memes and be like, Thing versus Thing Japan.
Yeah.
Fucking,
to be honest, that does have some merit. That image does have
a little bit. But you know, people are definitely gonna hit us with the fucking these lolicon pedo anime fans love to pretend that they're Japanese. You want to be Japanese so bad. You're JP LARPing, and it's like no, it's just the fact that like if a piece of art comes from a culture that you don't hail from, right? Then it's gonna have differences in the way it's created based on the culture that it comes from.
I do still
and it's fine to think that it's weird, but the reality is that, you know, you can't use that to like make a judgment on somebody's character, right? It's the exact same argument as like playing Call of Duty leads to school shootings, right? Like you're fucking getting the gold medal in mental gymnastics.
Yeah,
when you act like
I was gonna say that's my whole point with it as well. I mean, we came from like a weird time where people were like super against trying to use fiction as a means to as like a portal to reality, right? Kind of like the like COD example that you said, where there was this whole fucking tyrant wave of people just being like, oh, we need to ban these games from schools, or we need to ban these games from America because it's causing kids to get violent. It's like, no, that's not true.
Yeah, that's literally like
there's way more to the
rhetoric.
Right. There's way more nuance to the situation, I feel, than
definitely
just X leads to Y thing. Now, it can play a factor. I do agree that it can play a factor, but I think a majority of those situations are like, if a kid is doing this or a person is doing this, then the mindset's already been set in through other precedents, like, you know, abusive fucking households or people who are, let's say, on the wrong side of the lolly spectrum. We'll say the
right
part of the lolly spectrum.
I just think it's silly because that idea that consuming something fictional leads you to carry out the same actions in real life. That's the reason I brought up the FPS example, because that's literally like traditional like white conservative, like I live in the suburbs and I know nothing about anything outside of my own world compared to what I experience. Like that is straight like, you know, tradcon rhetoric, and it's weird to see people who claim to be progressive use like the actual like same concept to peddle their own beliefs. It's like, you know, the fucking call's coming from inside the house at that point.
What is the
lolly spectrum? We were talking about this earlier because it's okay. You want to think of it like fingers and thumbs, right?
What? Where are you going with this?
Okay. So what I'm saying when I say fingers and thumbs, right, is that there are 100%, because this is something that we can't deny if we're going to be honest with ourselves, right? There are 100% like real pedophiles who will go and consume lolly content, right? We just talked about this. And they'll use it as like a way to like mask themselves and like pretend that they're not a pedophile because they're hiding behind the bit, right? But it's the same thing as, you know, judging basically any like group of people based on like the bad apples, right? I understand that like nowadays people love to fucking lump the bad example in with everybody and use that as their primary example of what that group of people is like. But dude, there are tons of lolicons who are just like, yeah, I just like cute girls. Like, there doesn't have to be anything fucking sexual about it. Like, anime girls are just cute. That's it. Like, why does it have to be something weird? You know? Like, I think if you're the one looking at that shit and you're immediately thinking, like, oh, sex, these people have to be pedophiles, at what point are you projecting?
Yeah. I was gonna say, it usually happens, like, a majority of the time, by the way. Okay, so a trend I've noticed on Twitter is you have a lot of people who like to parade having the moral high ground over XYZ thing and come out like, let's say like a month later, they've done like way more heinous shit that they were trying to project against. And it's like, okay, There's a lot,
dude,
a lot of projection
100%.
going along here. It's like, okay, you're trying to hide behind some kind of heinous shit that you've unironically done in real life or have done yourself, and it's like
this actually segues perfectly, by the way, into Earth update.
Oh, what's going on the Earth?
Because I don't know if I filled you in on this one, because this is part of our kind of like drama of the week list to touch on was Earth Update, I believe is the guy's account. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, the gimmick account where like every day he would post like new update to planet Earth XYZ. He just this happens all the time. These gimmick accounts, like, they really love to break character, and I guess they're seething so hard about people enjoying anime girls that they have to get online and be like, they have to scream it to the whole world, like, I fucking hate these people and I need you all to know. So, one thing I'll give to the at the very least the Twitter lolicon community is that they really will get up in arms. I think they're overly fucking defensive, right? If we were to play devil's advocate against ourselves, I think that's 100% the first thing I would say is that some of y'all are just like, you're complaining about people taking things too seriously, and then you also take things too seriously, right? Because if somebody sits here and says you're into like kids because of anime, right? And you're like actually fucking drafting up like these massive fucking Twitter reply threads so you can like totally own them, right? It's giving I swear I'm not owned while you're fucking screaming and crying at the computer screen. Yeah. Why do you care so much about what they say? If you really don't care, just be like, okay, you're stupid, and then move on with your day, right?
Yeah, that's kind of how I see it. It's one of those things where I'm like, I don't think people need to parade around like somebody being either like wrong or being seen as wrong for being weird, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, the Puritan culture, right? The culture of like, I am so morally justified all the time.
We have a lot of people that like to kind of parade around the fact that they're like, oh, well, I'm not this and I'm not that, but then continue to do equally as weird things. But because it's like safe horny, for example, it's not as bad. Yeah. My horny good, your horny bad.
That's where I was going with Earth Update, because he started screaming about lolicons on Twitter, and then the overly defensive lolicons got in his replies, and a whole debate started. But guess what fucking happened? People found out that minors were just constantly being put at risk of being groomed in his Discord.
Yeah.
Because he owned a Twitter space, or he owned up a Twitter space, right? He put one up, and people started he openly invited debate. And then he started losing the debate, and then he had a fucking insane meltdown, like on the Twitter space, and people got it recorded and everything, where he just fucking started screaming and ranting, like, you guys fucking love kids so much! You guys fucking are super into kids, like, I swear, I have no proof, but I swear. And he just kept going and going, and then afterwards he had to nuke his Discord and start blocking everybody who questioned him once things got leaked, because people had screenshots and everything, because that was one thing he never said. He just kept going like, guys, we totally owned the pedos, guys, we got them, and then he just never addressed the Discord thing at all and just claimed that it was all lies with no way to back himself up.
Yeah, that happens an absurd amount. It's just like
that's what I mean when I say it's projection. Like, people, they need to hate so hard because they have skeletons in their closet that they don't want to acknowledge.
Right. But yeah, to me, it's always been just, if you think something's weird, I mean, that's totally fine. But if it's not actually harming anyone or anything, then like just call it a day and like ignore it, or just like don't care, just don't interact with it. I do think there are like things that need to be called out, but I think it's gotten to a point where we're just kind of calling out every fucking thing that has nothing to do with what your original goal was. For example, what was I gonna bring up? Fuck.
I don't know.
I was gonna bring up the whole like AI shit, right? Where you have
good example, yeah.
Where you have people who are targeting like actual artists, and they're like, oh, well, there's just a mistake here, and there's just a mistake here, and it's actually AI, and then they rally up a bunch of anti-AI people, and it's like, no, this wasn't AI, this is just common art mistakes. It's like, humans can also make mistakes. I don't think you understand that.
Yeah, for some reason, like, they really want to act like they know everything about stuff they don't really actually get invested in.
Mm-hmm. Or you have the people, what was it? What was that character from Mouthwashing or something like that? Where the
Oh,
artist,
Anya from Mouthwashing.
yeah, where the artist, I mean, the artist is pretty notorious for drawing, like, let's say pretty poorly proportioned sexual art. Like it's intentionally not proportioned properly, but like that's like their theme. So I'm like, I don't know why they're getting shamed for that, but also the fact that they're like, oh well, you sexualize an SA victim or da 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 da, and I'm like, dude, this character's not real. I don't know how to tell you this, but this character's not real.
Yeah, seriously, like, oh my god, you're drawing like lewd art of a video game character who is a victim of sexual assault, and then meanwhile, like, you know, people love to make jokes about fucking Drake and Epstein and Diddy who have like actually harmed minors in real life, and you're like constantly like digging this thing that was very traumatic for those people back up for a fucking laugh, and it makes you wonder if these people really care about the topic that they are supposedly so invested in, right? Because I think it's way more fucked up to joke about real situations.
Right. That's like my whole thing against it. It's like people are so debate driven. A lot of people love to just kind of argue against whatever they don't agree with. They have to see it as either it's completely bad or completely good. There's like no nuance to anything. It's like, okay, well, not really. Humans are not morally one way or the other. There's always nuances. Some things what one person might find, you know, how do I want to say it? What one person might find, everything is just subjective for the most part. There's objectively horrendous shit. But
yeah, I mean, especially with art, because one person might find something objectionable, whereas the other person finds it like pretty normal. You know, the entire point of art is to like evoke responses from people, right? It's a representation of the culture reflected back at itself,
right.
so that people can comment, right? So if we limit people's ability to comment, and if we also limit how people are able to reflect that culture, then after a while things are going to lose meaning, right?
Right,
and I think
then
that
everything kind of becomes the same and homogenized, and I think that's kind of the problem with a lot of art nowadays. Is that not even just like Twitter artists. I just mean like just mediums in general. There's a reason why everything is the same nowadays, and it's because of the fact that everyone wants everything to be one way or the other. You either have people on one spectrum, they're like, this needs to be super, like, there has to be no sexualization, there has to be no conventionally attractive characters or XYZ, you know. Then you have the other part of the spectrum where it's like, dude, every character needs to be attractive or else I will not like this game or the show or whatever. I'm like, there's nuance to every situation. You can't have it be one way or the other. If an artist wants to make their character sexual, I don't give a shit. If an artist wants to make their character, how do I want to say this, a part of a minority or like a diverse, you know, group of person, I don't care about that. I think my issue comes with the fact when both sides clash and they're like, this character needs to be this or this needs to be this, and I'm like, no, not really. Everything does it, because then you get to a point where everything's the same. We're kind of going in a circle where everyone's like, okay, well, we want this to be sterile, and then you get to the other circle where everyone's like, oh, no, every character needs to be this. I'm like, okay, you are both fighting for the same thing when it's objectively wrong to just have one side, like a one size fits all sort of thing.
Yeah, right.
If you don't like
if we were to like apply this to something else that we can both speak on personally, right? Like let's say like LGBT representation in fiction, right? I feel like you often do see that same attitude you mentioned where it's like, oh, well, X example gay character or trans character has to be represented in this certain way that I identify with, or else it is considered to be like offensive because it's like a harmful stereotype somehow, even though most of the time, like a lot of those assumptions, or I should say accusations, a lot of those accusations of like, oh, the writer is being bigoted by, you know, representing the character this way are pretty like half-baked. Because like it or not, you know, like there's people like us who, have similar experiences being on the transgender spectrum as a lot of other people, like the Twitter woke scolds, right? Like, we have similar experiences to them, but that doesn't mean we're going to come out with the same things to say. And people love to go, oh, listen to trans voices, listen to minority voices until it's something that is not like acceptable in the court of public opinion on the internet.
Right.
Even though there's tons of people like us that we could go talk to in real life that, we'd be able to have a very normal conversation about this stuff, because they know that at the end of the day, we're just like people with lived experiences and an opinion, right?
Right. I was gonna say that's kind of how I feel about a lot of things. So the whole situation with the Dandadan community that happened, like, I don't know how long ago now. I think it's always been a thing of, like, if one thing isn't okay, doing the exact same thing but in reverse is not okay. And I think that's kind of the problem. Is I agree with the goal that a lot of people have set for themselves, where they want to see more a more like diverse cast of like characters, or a more diverse like storytelling of like topics that usually don't get the spotlight. I think that's cool, but I think the problem is everyone says that it's not political, but then they politicize it.
Is this in reference to the Dandadan black edits?
Sorta. It plays into a factor. Mm-hmm. It plays into it, but I think like the broader spectrum of what I'm talking about is, I just don't think everything doesn't need to represent what you want it to do. If a show doesn't do what you want it to do, then ignore it.
Yeah, it's this it kind of goes back to what you said about like everything starts to feel the same, right? Because I feel like a lot of these people don't know that if you're not happy with the way anime is, like how it represents like whatever culture, like even if you find it offensive, like that's fucking okay. At the end of the day, that's your prerogative. I can't stop you. But you realize there's like a million other fictional mediums to go experience, right? Like I guarantee that like the majority of these people who complain about this stuff, they care so much about the thing that they already like being this way because they've never like gone and seen a movie or like read a book or like experienced any of the other ways to like get the type of storytelling that you want.
Yeah. No. Because I mean, I consider myself I'm open to experiencing new things. However, I am very much locked into whatever, like, I know what I like. I'm kind of locked into my preferences, right?
Uh-huh.
So if I go and experience something else, I am not going in with the mindset of I'm expecting this to appeal to me in the same way that my preferences do. If I don't like something that I've tried, I'm like, okay, I don't like it. It's just not for me. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to go around and being like, oh, well, this character should have did this or this character should have did that. Now I'm going to have like my critiques on said, subject that I've like experienced, watched, played, whatever. But I mean, if the intention was to, I'm going to judge it on whatever the intention was, if that makes any sense. I'm not going to judge something for what it isn't.
Yeah, I mean, it's the idea of like critiquing the piece itself versus like critiquing the medium. Because it becomes a whole different discussion when you say like nothing in this form of entertainment should be this way.
Right.
And people, sort of like we mentioned, they extend that to like real life issues as well, which I guess can segue into the next thing that I had written down for a potential topic was the Mike Pollock situation that took place on Twitter this week. Because surprisingly, in the wake of Donald Trump's presidency, we're seeing a ceasefire between Hamas and the Israeli forces. Hopefully it will last. It's looking like it's kind of on thin ice right now, so we'll see what happens. But, Mike Pollock has, admittedly, he's been kind of rude to people, not just about this topic, but in general.
Yeah.
So that's a point you can definitely levy against him as a person. Like, he seems like kind of a dick, and I won't deny that
he
ever.
is. He definitely is. And it's unfortunate.
But people see him be a dick, right? And because it's about a topic that they're so emotionally invested in, which that's like a whole other thing I could get into. Like, why do you care so much about something that's happening so far away from you that you have no control over? But we could talk about that later. Probably off the record, if anything, because it's not really relevant. But essentially, he's Jewish, and all he said in summation was, Hamas is a terrorist organization, which is true. That's objectively true. Regardless of whether or not you think they are the bigger bad guys in the situation, that's up for debate. But there are no good guys in war. Like, I thought we all understood this. Like, you ever taken a history class? Like, war is not a good thing. Nobody wins in war. But it's also a eventuality when you have, like, separate nations in the world. There will be conflict. People will have differing beliefs. They will come to fight over those beliefs. It's an inevitability, right? And it's a fucking terrible, tragic situation. And he pointed that out. Because immediately people jumped to the counter argument of, oh, does this mean that you don't care about the children in the Middle East that have been murdered by Israeli forces? And, Pollock said, no, I never said that, because he didn't. And he made sure, he was very clear, like, anyone who dies on either side of this conflict, whether they be man, woman, adult, child, it's tragic no matter what. This shouldn't be happening in the first place.
Right.
However, if people are acting like Israeli has no reason to be in the conflict, as if they just like want to, murder Middle Eastern children for fun or something, which is just very, I'm going to use the phrase intellectually dishonest, because I can't use a word I'd much rather use for that type of thinking on this platform. So, they want to act like just because he isn't on the same side of the issue as them, that makes him their enemy, right? Which is very common mentality nowadays. You called it like being, super debate pilled, but I would kind of argue it's sort of the opposite. Like, people are overly emotionally invested in all these topics, right? Like these trending, like, political, social topics.
I think there's
but it's
valid merit to that.
Oh, of course. Like, it's not a bad thing to care. It's,
I just think thinking with
what?
like raw emotion is, you'll never get like a good outcome out of that. Like, nobody's gonna win debating on just sheer raw emotion.
Yeah,
and I think
that's where I'm going when I say it's like not really about the debate for these people. I don't think,
right?
Because it seems a lot more like it goes back to that kind of like woke scold, like, I want to be right and I want to flex my moral superiority type mentality. Like, this is the morally right thing in my mind, which means that I need to make sure people know how morally justified I am, because they're not really inviting debate, these people. That's why I was kind of surprised when you referred to it that way, because they're really just looking for the validation of their opinion through the internet, right? Because these people are never having a dialogue, even if they're on opposite sides. Yeah. Like, you could have somebody who's like pro X issue and anti X issue, and they'll be going back and forth in the replies, but there will literally be no actual discussion.
They're just talking. They're talking to a brick wall that's placed between them. It's like they're not actually talking to each other. They're talking to the brick wall between them.
They're talking at each other.
Like, you're not really winning when you start. What do I want to say? Because ultimately, the goal of a debate is not to win, but the goal should be to give different perspective on the matter.
Yeah, to exchange ideas and strengthen your knowledge.
And I think people have severely skewed what a debate actually is, and instead of actually coming out of the argument and being like, okay, well, I might disagree with these points, but you did have some, I may disagree, but like, those points are valid, or XYZ. You have a lot of people that just talk at each other and insult each other, and I'm just like, okay, well, we're kind of getting nowhere.
Yeah, right? Why do you think I said it's about the validation? Because we literally see all the time, people take account ratio as I won the argument, like, unironically. Yeah, nowadays.
Like,
it's like, oh,
I mean, at that point, you're the whole thing with account ratios, I'm like, it just depends on what audience happens to see the tweet. If one side sees this tweet, of course they're gonna like it. If the other side sees the tweet, they're not gonna interact with it or like.
No, dude, like, my post quoting your initial post got more likes, which means that I am a more justified human being than you. Like, I deserve to exist more than you do, and I am smarter than you, and you should basically die.
Pretty much. You should just go jump. No, but in Minecraft,
so restarted, bro.
In Minecraft.
Shit is super restarted.
But yeah, I mean, just kind of like trailing off of that. You just can't, like, everyone's just so miserable nowadays, and it's getting to it's kind of scary. I won't lie, it's kind of scary to seeing like the type of shit people are willing and do believe on the Musk app. Ever since, you know, I don't even want to get into politics, but it's just it is scary. I do see where people are coming from, and I do see why people are so emotionally charged now. However, I don't think feeding it is doing any favors.
No, definitely. You're always like, you say that a lot, like, I don't want to get political, but dude, like, that makes you kind of Twitter brain, because you think you're being political, but you're not. We haven't said anything political this whole time.
I mean directly political, like talking about actual shit going on that is political.
I mean, yeah, we've talked about stuff that's like political adjacent, right? Like political topics, but our opinion is not like relevant for what we're talking about, because we're more so talking about like how people engage with the topics, right?
Right.
So I guess it would be overtly political if you did give an opinion, but I mean, I don't know, dude. It's just it's a weird situation for sure. I don't really. It's hard to like pin the blame on anything specific, because I could sit here and be a boomer and be like, oh, the problem is the internet, which I think to a degree it is. But at the end of the day, like, you have freedom of thought. You can do your own thing. Like, it's your responsibility not to be an idiot online.
Pretty much. And like I said, it goes for everyone, where it's just like you choose to engage in whatever topics, debate, whatever it is that you wanted, that you try to choose to engage with. And I'm like, if you want to make a fool of yourself, I mean, go for it. I'm not going to stop you. It's just one of those things. It's like, you're arguing on the internet. In reality, no one really gives a fuck. People are so invested in just being online, and then you go out into the real world, and like, you would either not catch anyone saying the shit that they do online, or like, people just don't give a fuck.
Yeah, like, that's why I'll only have like real conversations about this type of stuff with, like, people like in my personal friend circle, because it's just otherwise, like, nobody gives benefit of the doubt anymore, like like I said, gold medal in mental gymnastics, right? People love jumping to conclusions and like basically giving the most bad faith interpretation of what you're saying possible, if you even like hint at like possibly having a view they might not coincide with.
Right.
Oh,
it's sad.
Another thing I have written down, if you're okay to jump ship on this one, was waifu. Waifu is
the whole waifu debate. Oh my lord.
Waifu bad now, Momo.
So okay, I'll give my immediate take on it. I do think it is corny. It's very fucking corny. But I don't give a shit if somebody wants to say that they have a whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, this is perfect. This is perfect, because you are here. We have in this very podcast the two hosts. You are anti-waifu, and I am super, super pro-waifu.
Super pro-waifu.
I am, dude. I am. Why the fuck do you care about the fact that this anime woman is my wife? I'm literally married to an anime woman in real life. You can't say that I'm not. My girlfriend's a VTuber.
That's true.
I'm married to an anime woman. Anime women are real. You can't convince me that they're not. I'm not schizophrenic.
Your wife is saying we're married, question mark. I don't think it's true. I don't think you guys are married. Your wife is out here questioning your statement there.
Dude, what the fuck, man? You can't just okay? Just not right now.
I don't know. Not right now.
She's fucking ruining my bit, like always.
She said I'm into it.
I've said before, the only reason we're not married is because we're fucking poor.
True.
Do you want a nice ring, or do you want like a shitty one from the mall?
You get a bagel.
Because we can get married tomorrow if you don't want a good one.
You get a bagel. No,
a bagel? She said she wants to put donuts on it.
You guys are married in the metaverse. That's so sweet.
Okay, you want to put a bagel on it instead of donuts, babe? We are married in the metaverse. Zuckerberg is going to marry us Him and Mustard are gonna help marry us when we both get our brain chips in.
Your brain chip, that's insane. No, but here's the thing. Is it corny? Yes, it's very fucking corny. Do I care? No, I don't. Like, you, the same people calling this stuff out are the same people who are out here like, oh my god, this character is so XYZ. And I'm like, dude, I don't care.
Yeah, you're a fucking fraud, by the way. You're like fucking bold-faced lying to the chat when you fucking post Hoshino and you're like, my wife, my wife, my wife. You have a waifu, you fucking liar.
But I don't say it unironically. I'm not out here being like, yo, this is my waifu.
Okay,
like,
but that's... Okay, you realize that... Like, you're saying the same thing with just a less corny version of the word. So
No, but
are you arguing
saying.
semantics?
No, I'm not arguing semantics. I'm saying I find it corny, but I don't care that it's corny. That's my whole thing.
That's what I'm asking. What makes it corny in the first place to say waifu instead of that's my wife? What's the difference to you?
Oh, you mean the actual word? I thought we were debating that. I thought we were talking about the actual, like, the topic is. I don't know if we were.
No. Okay. Well, first of all, you're getting all fucking Discord debate bro on me. We're not debating anything. I don't think.
No. I'm just trying to understand what, like, are we talking about the word waifu versus wife, or are we just talking about the concept of waifu?
Well, we're talking about the concept of waifu because that's what people on Twitter got pissed about. But I'm asking you what is cringe about saying waifu versus saying wife? Because you're saying you're doing the same thing, but in a way that's less cringe. What makes it less cringe?
No. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying I'm saying like going around and saying this character is my wife / waifu. I'm like, if you like the terminology waifu, I don't give a shit. You say how you say whatever.
You're saying it's cringe to do it publicly on social media?
No, I'm just saying it's just cringe in general, but I don't care. Like, I'm a part of that cringe, if that makes any sense.
So you're saying nothing?
No, it doesn't have to.
You have no point to what you're saying.
Yes, there literally is. I'm saying it's fucking cringe. Don't get me wrong. Like, you're going around with this little fictional character, like, dude, this is my wife, and da-da-da-da. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. Like, people are like, oh man, these people are so weird for doing this. I'm like, yeah, we are. I don't care. Like, yeah.
No, I do get what you're saying. Like, cringe is dead, bro. Have your fun. But I had debate. Guys, chat, a black woman is speaking. Shut up and listen. The black woman in question, fucking rambling nonsense.
Yep says.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I don't know, it's just so weird, because it all started with some guy saying, like, oh my god, waifu discourse in 2025, and then, you know, you have all these people who I'm sure have seen, like, 2 anime, like My Hero and Demon Slayer, probably, and they want to sit here and be like, we can enjoy anime without doing all this weird shit. Like, maybe, but you won't enjoy it as much as I do.
But the thing is, it's just like, those same people are also the same people to be like, yo, hear me out. Yo, fucking Shago from Kim Possible. And I'm like, you're doing the same shit.
Yeah, right?
You're doing the same shit.
See, this is where I actually unironically say thing Japan, except I guess it's the reverse. You're going thing versus thing USA.
Yeah,
like,
pretty much.
It's just not weird to you because it's a Western cartoon that you grow up with. Like, but I'm sure people would immediately counter argument. Well, like, oh, at least the characters I'm attracted to are adults, but I'm sure that you fucking have tons of examples in your Twitter likes that prove the contrary. Your likes are not public anymore, actually.
They're not public. Your follows are.
I'm sad that meme is dead. Yeah, your follows are public though, and your reposts.
I've seen that get caught a couple times. But yeah, I mean, me, the whole debate is fucking. The whole debate is so fucking stupid. I'm not.
Oh, definitely.
Like, you have people taking this shit way too seriously. Like, you have people throwing out slurs and shit now, and I'm like, all right, calm down. It is not that serious. Like, we were talking about the fact that you're getting dogged on for having an attraction to fictional characters. If you have an attraction to fictional characters, I don't give a shit. I do too. Like, damn, anime women are fucking hot. I don't care.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
I look at Phoebe in Wuthering Waves and I'm like, dude, she's so fucking cute. She is wife
Is
material.
she the little plant girl?
No, that's Verena. Phoebe, she's like a little like Christian girl. Hold on, let me send you a
Oh my god, she's a Jesus lover? Are you leaving room for God in the relationship?
Oh yeah. Well, let me send you a...
Remember, chat, your relationships have to be, co-signed by Jesus in holy matrimony. If you're not leaving room for a 3-way between you, your partner, and God, then you're kind of, you might be sinning. God is in the cuck chair.
Unironically, kind of true. He's just kind of watching us all go out.
Yeah, that's actually true. Okay, new topic of discussion. Is God a cuck?
Guys? Yes. Next question.
But yeah, I think, like I said earlier with like lolly discourse on the internet, it's the same concept. You can apply this to the internet anime community at large. Really, I think whether you are like one of the people who thinks that a lot of the shit that anime has been doing for a long time is cringe and gross and needs to go, or if you think that, that shit is fine and it doesn't really matter, aka you're correct, then, I think both of you would do a good job not being so emotionally invested. Because like I said, when you're the guy who like has to reply because you feel like you need to own the person who's like making fun of you so badly.
Yeah.
I saw that dude complaining about the waifu shit, and what the fuck is it going to do for me to reply to him? I feel one way about it. He obviously feels another way about it. The only difference is that one of us feels like the world has to know for validation, and I don't feel that way.
I mean, me personally, I just keep all my like anime shit. I just keep that shit online. I don't want to bring it like in real. Like, there's certain things that I'll like bring up in real life. There's certain things that I will talk about in real life, but I'm never gonna like start parading the shit that I see on Twitter or I post on like Discord or some shit and be like, yeah, dude, this I'm gonna wear this straight in my chest. I'm like, no, dude. There's some things that you just need to keep on the internet.
Yeah, seriously.
Because I think
there's no separation anymore.
There's a degree of cringe that you are allowed to express in person in public. Now, if you're with your friends, I don't give a shit. But if you're doing that shit in public, calm down.
No, I agree. Because people are super obsessed with, this thing that's been pushed where, social media is like an extension of our real lives now. And I feel like that kind of mentality is like, it's clearly the most popular mentality to have about it, but I think it's clearly unhealthy.
And my dad has always talked about this before. It's just like people post way too much about themselves on the internet publicly.
Oh yeah, it's so unhealthy, bro.
And it's to a point where like we're diverging that line of like reality in the internet. Well, like the internet is an extension of reality by all technicality. Like it literally is. There are real people posting their real genuine thoughts on the internet, but
yeah, right.
There's like there's like a degree to it.
Definitely. Where do you think that I guess the line is, right? Where it's like, how private should the average person be online? Like ideally, do you think?
I think a lot of things. Okay, there's a spectrum.
You think a lot of things? I don't know if that's true. You don't think too much.
I don't. There's a spectrum to this. There's things like public figures. So let's take Mike Pollock, for example. Very public figure. I think you should try to keep as minimal of yourself out there as possible because you're already putting yourself out there. You are already known by so many people. And I think there's a lot of stuff that you just either should not talk about, or if you do talk about it, do it respectfully.
Yeah, definitely. He's one of those celebrities that replies to like literally everybody, which is just fucking moronic.
Now, if you're some fucking nobody like me, for example, and you want to like just do whatever the fuck you want, I really don't care. Do what you want, but that's you. If it's to a point where you're posting like your everyday life, your face, your whatever the fuck, just be careful.
Yeah, I've pretty much stopped posting my face online, and I think I'm gonna keep it that way. Like, obviously, the people who have seen, they know, that's fine. I mean, most of them are from the Smash community anyway. Either that or they're people in my personal life. But I think, I don't know. Like, the internet used to be way more anonymous. Sometimes for the worse, but I think most of the time it was for the better. Because especially nowadays, like people are just gonna assume the worst about you. And if you invite that, then it's kind of like you made your bed, you have to lie in it, right?
Pretty much. Especially, if you're not at a level where you can comfortably, I'd say streamers.
If you're not mentally strong enough to handle that.
Not even that. Like being a streamer, for example, if you're a public streamer, like you're like the same kind of person that you find on like the internet, but now you're putting a face to it. You're putting that, you're living on the internet essentially. Like you make your living through the internet.
Yeah.
I think then that's where the line kind of starts to blur between like you're putting out your real self and putting out, you know, a face, and also like being overly public.
Mm.
There's so many layers to it, but personally, if I was to talk about it in a general sense, I just think most people need to keep their personal lives in their personal life.
Mm. Irony poisoning also is a big factor as well, because let me tell you what, you fucking idiots can no longer detect bait, and it's just pathetic. Like, I don't know what I can do to help you. You know, I don't know how you can help yourselves, but I don't know. Maybe you need to like spend like one day on 4chan, and you'll learn how to find bait. I swear. Like, I'm not advocating for 4chan use because that's like a method of self-harm, but I don't know, dude. It's just sad. Like, not only did bait used to be believable, and now it's not anymore. Bait is super fucking obvious. Somehow the bait has gotten more obvious, and people are worse at detecting it. Like, people will make the most... You literally linked it to me earlier. Like, some dude was doing the most, like, obvious bait posting I've ever seen to, like, get people mad. And, like, dude, people just took it, and they got super mad. He got the exact reaction that he wanted, even though it was, like, the most obvious attempt at, like, arousing discourse possible.
And it was so funny because he baited both sides of that argument.
Yeah, right. He got both people. Because he was like, I need a Rona from Blue Archive bouncing on my dick so bad. And then people got mad. And then he was like, dude, we need to kill all these fucking lolicon pedophiles.
And then they got mad too.
Yeah. It's like, he literally got you both. Like, you're all fucking restarted at that point. No, seriously. It's like, because people don't have that sense of anonymity anymore, like we talked about. Like, people are being too real on the internet. So now when people go on there and they bait, people think it's for real because they're straight up irony poisoned. Like, they no longer know that there are people on the internet who don't take everything seriously. Right. Like, I want to start baiting more, to be honest, just to like fucking push back against that, because the type of shit I say when we're just hanging out, like us and our friends, is like, I'm like, holy shit, what's the way that people say it that's ad friendly? I fucking love grape. I love graping people. Blah blah blah. And it's, you know, everybody's like, dude, that's fucked up. But we all know it's a fucking bit, right? I'm in a fucking committed relationship of 3 years with a woman that I love and want to marry. So I can say whatever the fuck I want, and you can be as mad as you want. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, that's your guys' relationship. You guys do whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, it's like, you know, if you think it's offensive, then like, that's okay. I guess I'm sorry I offended you, but your block button is right there.
I think a lot of the problems with bait posting nowadays comes with the fact that like everyone's fucking doing it. It's like not a thing that you like come across everyone. Like, everyone's trying to do it, and it's like, okay, are we being for real, or are we like what are we doing?
Well, it's like the meta irony option select. You know what I mean?
I also think people are just, I mean, it's intended to be reactionary.
Yeah, so right? Because it's like a half bait, half not, so you can claim whichever one you want to go with when people react.
And it's the same way about like people. I'm gonna snooze this ad. I'm on my last snooze. Sorry, chat. What was I gonna say? It's no different from like a news headline. If that's like the perfect analogy, I think. You have so many people that look at a news headline, they immediately start talking about it without actually reading into it. Or for example, if you're bait posting, you just see the person just make a tweet. People don't actually look at the person's profile to see if like they've ever said anything that goes against that, or if they have a history of doing shit. Like, they just kind of see it, immediately react, and I'm like, well, you fell for it. Now there's a lot of people out there who just say shit like, oh well, you fell for the bait, haha, and I'm like, no, that wasn't bait. You tweeted that with your chest, calm down. But
yeah, right. Like, that's pussy shit, dude. If you can't claim bait when you were like obviously not doing it just to like escape having to own what you said. Like, just be a fucking like what's a good example of this I can think of? Oh, it's like the gooning shit, right? Like, you know, you got fucking goon core warriors like myself versus the stop gooning movement, the never goon movement. Shout out Turkey Tom. But it's like, dude, if you're gonna be like a gooner and you're gonna be like, holy fucking shit, I love jerking off and porn and masturbation, but I don't know, whatever the fuck you would tweet. You just own it. Like, who cares?
Yeah, I don't like. There's plenty of people like you in the scene, man. Like, I don't know why we have to appeal to everybody. You can just say what you want, say it with your chest. I don't care if it's not hurting anybody. Who cares?
Yeah, I think it's just maybe loneliness plays a factor. Like, maybe these people don't, not to like armchair psych, but maybe these people just like don't have like
sit you down
like close personal relationships that are like intimate enough to make them feel like people care about them. Like, maybe they're just all depressed. I really don't know. But I mean, even then, I'm depressed as fuck, and I don't act like that. So I really don't know.
Yeah, I think that does have a factor in it. I think a lot of people want to appeal to as many people as possible because a lot of people just like to feel popular. Like, they like to feel heard, they like to feel seen. That's why under every fucking tweet, everyone's like, "Oh, let me promote this, let me promote that," and I'm like, dude, cool. And I'm like, banger, good on you. Like, stay on your grind, promote whatever the fuck you want. But I feel like most people do it just because they like the attention. People, I mean, the internet is a fight. It is pretty much a fight for your attention. Like, that's pretty much what the world has kind of become now. It's just fighting for people's attention, whether you want to do it or not. Even streaming, for example, you are fighting for millions of people's attention. Like, why should they watch you as opposed to watching the people that they've been watching for, the last like 3 years or so. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not even just people too, like company advertisements and stuff. Like, everything on the internet is fighting for your attention, and it's up to you to decide where that attention goes.
Right. I think now it's just kind of like you said, people, they don't have those like tightly knit relationships anymore, or all their relationships they've had have been like online relationships, and that's kind of like all they know. Like, they've never had someone like close to them in real life. Not to say like bitchless, but like
No, totally. I mean, it's weird because like you're not beyond saving. If you're a chronically online person watching this, you can get help.
It's everyone.
You just
everyone in
yeah. You just have to surround yourself with like actual real human beings who use their frontal lobes and are capable of critical thought. And then all of a sudden the world opens up and things aren't so scary anymore. I had to clicker train my girlfriend like a dog to not be chronically online.
Yeah.
So it can happen to anybody.
I've had to do that with a couple friends before too. I'm like, hey, like, all this shit like that you're parading and you're like getting mad at, and you are trying to make like you're like this image you're trying to make for yourself. Stop, because you're never going to be perfect. You're never going to achieve perfection. So just stop while you're there. Stop trying to appeal to random nobodies on the internet.
Dude, honestly, being imperfect is way more fun. I love fucking parading how fucked up and mentally damaged I am. It gets me so many online sympathy points. Oh, come on. No fucking laugh for that one?
Hands
Fuck
up.
you. Fuck you.
No, but yeah. I mean, I've never been that person to just... I've never been like an attention-seeking person. I like to keep to myself, but I do have like those moments where I'm like, dude, why the fuck is all the attention on this person? What am I not doing?
What's your favorite like bad attention-seeking method on social media? Because mine is probably like artist making a vent comic.
Dude, the vent comments are so fucking funny. It's so unreal. Okay, like, art is a form of expression, and I will stand by that. But when people start talking about their serious live issues and they just start drawing a comic about it, they're like, "Oh, my parents."
Yeah, and there's like 50 words per page about how traumatized they are by the situation. It's like, look, I really, really hope it's doing something for you, and I hope that you can heal from that. Also, I don't care.
Unfortunately, though, a lot of those posts tend to be fake. Oh, is that a bot in my chat?
Oh, we got a spam bot.
Chat? How do oh shit.
In the chat. Yeah, I'm gonna pin that.
No! Fuck out of here.
I'm not a mod. I can't pin it.
Yeah, get out of here. Fuck.
Make me mod, bitch.
No.
Fuck you. This was my idea.
It is your idea, but I'm the streamer.
I was gonna gas you and say you're like the perfect co-host too, because all you've done this whole time is be like, yeah, that's so true, Lenny. Adds marginal insight, And that's exactly what I wanted. You're piggybacking off of all of my points and validating me perfectly. My ego is hella stroked right now. But you know what? You're not getting that praise anymore.
What was this? Dude, how do I get rid of this? I forgot. I haven't streamed in so long.
What do you mean? Just fucking delete the message.
I don't know how!
Dude, you're so bad at this.
I haven't streamed in like forever.
It's not that you click the fucking 3 dots for the drop-down menu and then you get rid of him. Yeah, make Laza mod.
Caught. Anyway. What were you talking about? I forgot. This bot actually...
absolutely nothing. I was talking about absolutely fucking nothing. I was shitposting.
This bot actually took me...
Yeah, we should make everyone in Milk a mod. That would surely go really well.
That would be terrible.
Okay, well, we did hit our hour benchmark. I've had like 4 cigarettes during this conversation. So this was
pass out.
This was very nice and very relaxing. But I guess we can probably bookend here, right?
Yeah. I think we're good to call it there. I don't really have a lot. I don't really have a lot else that I wanted to say. But yeah, I want to thank everyone in Milk for watching this dog shit stream.
Yeah, thanks for the free views, guys. It's actually like super epic. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be super genuine, you know, because I have a persona to maintain on the internet as a piece of shit. So all I can really say is thanks for the free views, but you'll get a private thank you later when the cameras are off. You know, gotta maintain the persona.
And he will come and give you all a kiss.
Nice job, dude. You said my name. Now I'm doxxed and fucking. I don't know. Somebody's gonna IP grab me. I see that we're running out of good bits.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's time
That's how
to
we
end.
know we need to end stream.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, any parting words? Any parting statements that we have to do for like a last second audience filter? Is there anything important that we needed to say?
I love Hoshino Blue Archive.
Do you think who do you think can bounce on it with more efficiency?
All right.
Hoshino Blue Archive or
our,
Piper? I always call her Piper Genshin, but it's Piper Zenless Zen Zero. But I think it's funny to say Genshin.
That is
because everything Hoyo is Genshin.
That is our segue. Stay tuned for episode 2.
Yeah,
answer that question.
Yeah, that'll be the start of the next episode. Is debating which of our favorite lollies can bounce on it with more efficiency.
All right, I'm getting out of here. Goodbye, chat.
All right, this shit sucked.